Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of TBR TV. Tonight I'd like to take this opportunity to unbox and give you my initial impressions of a macro lens that I just purchased for my Nikon D750. It's a great camera, by the way, highly recommend that. This macro lens, as you can see from the box, this order was fulfilled by Adorama Camera. And just a word on them, many of you that are camera geeks like me, are familiar with Adorama and B&H, the two big boys on the block when it comes to mail order cameras and camera gear and just anything else that you could ever want. Both are great companies. I've had excellent results with both. I've probably spent more money with Adorama, but I've probably placed more orders with B&H. Never had a problem with either one. Highly recommend both of them. In this case, however, I did use a new service, a new website. Really hoping it works out well. The name of that website is greentoe.com. It's easy to remember, greentoe.com. And it's a neat site. I highly encourage you to check it out and see what they can offer you. You can save some money and you still get great service. Just want to talk about what's in here for a minute. I've been looking for a macro lens for my Nikon D750 for a good while now, for a period of weeks, and I had narrowed it down to three different lenses: the Nikon 105 millimeter f2.8 macro lens, the Sigma 105 millimeter f2.8 macro lens, and the Tokina 100 millimeter f2.8 macro lens. Prices were the Nikon retail is around $900. Street price right now is around $800. Retail on the Sigma was a little higher than the Nikon. Full retail is around $980, something like that. Street price was $669. Just recently came out with an instant rebate, so you could get it for $619. The street price on the Tokina, I'm not sure what the retail is on it, but the street price on the Tokina is about $379. So the Tokina is a much cheaper lens, or not cheaper, less expensive, and it's a great lens. Most folks recommend, most of the videos I've watched on YouTube, The Angry Photographer, also Ken Rockwell's site, most of you are familiar with that, have great things to say about that lens. And I had kind of settled on that lens, but then I got the opportunity to buy the Sigma 150 millimeter f2.8 EX DG Macro OS. And the reason I went with it, A, through greentoe.com I got a really amazing deal, and B, I'll probably end up using this lens more for portraiture than for actual macro work. So to me, the optical stabilization was worth the extra money. I hope that works out for me, but we shall see. So let's see what we have in here. Also Sigma, I'm a big fan of Sigma. I have a Sigma 120 to 400 f 4.5 to 5.6 that I got on Craigslist for $400. That was a steal, and I'm really happy with that lens. So I'm familiar with the Sigmas, and I like their quality, so that's part of the reason I went with it. So let's see what we've got. We have the strap for the carrying case. Comes with a really nice carrying case. Exactly like the 120 to 400 that I have. It's the same case, only larger, of course. Wow, there's a lot of padding in the bottom of that case, so this lens should be in really good condition, even though you may have noticed the box, the outer box, looked like UPS had kind of had a little fun with it. There's the lens hood, lens cap, very similar. My first impressions are this is actually heavier than I had anticipated it would be. It's the lightest of the three lenses. It's not a lot lighter than the Tokina, but it's considerably lighter than the Nikon. But it feels very well made. It feels heavy and it feels professional. I'm going to move a little closer and let you have a close look at some of the features and switches and knobs, and I'll finish up from the other side of the camera. So here you have the switch for your focusing range, full focus, 0.45 meters to infinity, and 0.312 meters to 0.45 meters. Three position switch. Feels very good, very solid. Here's the switch for autofocus. Oops, sorry, I'll get it back in the frame. There's a switch for autofocus and for manual focus. That's handy. This lens does have an onboard hypersonic motor, HSM as they call it. Here's the switch for the optical stabilization, three position switch, off, 1 and 2. Again, feels very smooth and really it's a nice lens. I'm really so far really happy with this lens. So let's take off the back cap and give you a look at that. I don't know how much you can see, but it looks, again, very well made. And there's the front. There's the window for your focus distance. So that's kind of nice. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this segment. I'll get this on my camera. We'll take some pictures, and hopefully in a week or two I'll report back. Please check back with TBR TV. So we are going to be reviewing some more gear later on. I have a couple of other items hopefully will be here soon that I'd like to show you, and other than that, we're gone. Thanks again.